Hey, listen. We're only an hour and a half late. It's not that bad. It's only an hour and 28 minutes late. It's not that bad. And by the way, nobody's here anyways to give a fuck. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm here on my own time and everybody's happy. Welcome to Scratched Up Live number 9. Number 9, your first stop on YouTube for hip hop discussion and production. Yes, baby. Let's give it up, baby. Round of applause. Give it up. Cheers. Cheers. Round of applause for Scratched Up Live. Number 9. The 9th official edition. The 9th official episode of Scratched Up Live. A quarter day recordings production. And I am Derek Obscure. Thank you for clicking on this video. And we have a fun show for tonight. A very fun show for tonight. Woo! I just got back from Colorado, and I'm also a little sweaty. That's my current predicament and why I have accessories on and why I am glistening. I got a new hat in Colorado. I got some new glasses in Colorado, and I figured I would wear them on the stream. Because people are going to see clips of this shit. People are going to see clips of this stream and be like, why the fuck does he have a disguise on? And there's not going to be any explanation as to why. And that's on them. Not on me. I can wear whatever I want on the stream. And it has nothing to do with the content of this stream. And so, speaking about the content of the stream, we have a lot to go through and probably some that will get cut out and left behind. But we have plenty of pickings here on Scratched Up Live number 9 tonight. And we'll just kind of dive right into it. The top of the show shit is gonna kind of be a quick boom, 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 evening news type of style. So we can get into the juicy stuff. Same with the music of the week. I got a whole, quite a bit of music of the week, and we're just gonna boom, 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 gauntlet style. I like to call it evening news style, just kind of, not going deep into anything, but just skimming the surface, and then we'll get into the rabbit holes, the good shit, the stuff we can chew on a bit towards the end of the show, the back half. So, that being said, and this is just how it goes on the stream because nobody's watching live. I started, but I'm not actually ready. So hang on tight, my friends. We will get into the show. First off, this is a Patagonia hat. I might end up wearing it mostly like this on the stream. What if I did that? Would people be okay with that? Is this okay? There's nothing wrong with this, right? We have fun here. I'm just playing, guys. I'm just playing. This show is not sponsored by Sunchips. We're easing into the show. And part of that ease, I just want to say, I am in my nerd era, like ultimate nerd era. I could go into it deep, but I just want to show off a couple of things I got here. So, I got these separately. First one I got, and I was super excited about it. And I saw the second one at the same time as the first one. I ended up going back and getting the second one. These are Hot Wheels, but not just any Hot Wheels. X-Men edition Hot Wheels. I got Professor X and Magneto. Now this is pretty fucking cool if you ask me. I don't know your opinions on these two characters. Fuck, dude, every god dang time. Why do I do it every time? I flipped it upside down instead of the way I wanted to. Oh my god, dude. I'm just gonna hang my head in shame. I'm such a freaking idiot. I flipped it the wrong way twice, and I am so sorry about that. Here we go. This is X-Men Hot Wheels. I got Magneto and Professor X just in time for the X-Men craze that is about to reignite within the next 5 to 10 years. I'm personally on an X-Men craze. I'm personally in a Marvel phase for the first time, and I won't really go into it, but I'm very psyched about these two little, and I'm never going to open these. Let's be real. I'm never going to open these. And I hope they stay in pristine condition for my entire life. That it is what it is. But so, I will be right back. I need to take care of something, but since there's nobody here, it doesn't really matter. Thank you for joining me here on the Scratched Up Live show. The Scratched Up Live show. If you are here, oh my fucking god, dude. I'm literally never going to memorize this. Because it says flip vertical, flip horizontal. The one that I think would work is the one that never does. And so, whatever. But here we are. I'll be right back. Look at me espresso. Look at me espresso. We're gonna get into a whole bunch of shit. By the way, I should before I hop away for a second, the top of the show stuff, just to keep you a little intrigued while I'm gone, to the 0 people here. New additions to Kevin Abstract's Glue mixtape. We're gonna listen to those. Chance the Rapper, quote unquote, threatens to delay his album. Nelly was arrested for possession of ecstasy, which is kind of funny. Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine opened an innovative high school in L.A., and Vultures 2 by Ye Dalla is suffering on the charts and just socially, generally. So we're going to hop into all of that in a minute here, but give me a minute. Ya boy, ya host, Derek Obscure, is not quite ready, so I'll be right back. So, back like I never left, back like nothing happened. We're getting into the top of the show here. Okay, friends? Okay. So if anybody happens to be watching, which I don't know why you would be right now, but I'm getting this damn show back on the damn rails immediately. I gotta open all my links first. Alright. And we're starting out light, people. We're starting out light. So, we have updates to the Kevin Abstract mixtape that is slowly unveiling itself on YouTube, titled Glue. We have 2 new tracks added, as far as I know. Maybe more at this point. Probably just 2, though. 7 days ago, additional vocals by Quadeca. This song is titled I Love These Hoes, They Don't Judge Me, by Kevin Abstract. Let's take a listen.
I feel the most fake these days. Gave up everything I need. A phantom is everything I need.
I can't wait to download this.
Had a Spanish boy by the sea. Hey, he dressed so American to me. Hey.
Like making its own bootleg album on Apple Music.
Fate these days. I pay him whatever to stay.
Let me start it over. That was too blasted. So I can't wait to
I feel the most fake
compile
these days.
this album into its own like bootleg.
Gave up everything I need.
Can't wait to compile these songs into its own
A
bootleg
phantom is
album.
everything I need.
Like, I love these. I love doing this when you have to scrap
Had a
it all,
Spanish
scrape it
boy
all
by the
together for
sea.
YouTube videos.
He dressed so American to me.
Makes me feel like old school shit.
I feel the most fate these days. I pay him whatever to stay. First class, you ain't even gay. I wish it could all go my way.
This shit is, dude, I mean, this entire mixtape is shaping up to be something very special here. A very special solo Kevin Abstract project is taking form here, kind of right under people's noses. And I'm going to be honest here, I've never been thrilled after listening to a solo Kevin Abstract album for the first time. I've never been blown away by a Kevin Abstract album. I'm not saying this album here, or this mixtape here, you know, I've listened to all of them, almost minus one up to this point. And it is very good. I'm not going to say it's blowing me away necessarily, but as far as Kevin Abstract albums go, I mean, this is maybe his best. And I'm going to be honest.
First class, you ain't even gay.
Alright, I will after this video, okay? Got more. We still have another 30 seconds. 30 seconds, baby. Let me get you applesauce. This must be the Quadeca part. Additional vocals by Quadeca. It says 26,000 views so far. In 7 days. JPEG Mafia ad title. I mess with Abstract Quadeca. Kevin Abstract and Quadeca working together is one of the best things to come out of 24. Kevin been feeding the streets. Thank you, King. These drops have recently been saving my life. Alright, we have another one to get into. called Beautiful Dumb Boys. After I get my daughter some applesauce. Alright, Vivi, let's go get some applesauce. Okay. So I'm doing this stream here for the people. You know, I was out of town. I was in Colorado last week. Okay. Over the weekend. More like. And so we extended our trip an extra day unexpectedly. Typically I stream on Tuesdays. I was in the car all day yesterday. And I decided to push the stream back a day, just delay it a day, and still do it on Wednesday, and just roll with it, you know, pretend like Wednesday is Tuesday. And here I am, doing my stream, and I really wish I was just relaxing, watching my Marvel shit, or even reading. I'm reading Secret Wars, which is going to be one of the new Avengers movies later this decade. And I want to be doing that. I want to be watching Iron Fist right now, snuggling with my daughter. But I want to make this content as well, and now is the time. And so I'm gonna freaking do it. Okay. And I'm happily gonna do it. But we're also gonna bust through it at the same time. So this is Beautiful Dumb Boys by Brockhampton. Nope, not even by Brockhampton. Just pretty much just Kevin Abstract. Produced by Austin Corona and Wyatt Bernard.
Felt better when I spend my nights alone. Lonely sleep can't be heaven.
This is a very gay song. I can't even show the cover because it's just a dude in boxers. Very suggestive photo. Not too happy, not too excited about this one. Not gonna lie. This is probably my least favorite of the mixtape bunch so far.
Nigga is fine. She got nothing to say. You're something and nothing at all.
This part's alright.
Cry it all night.
This part's nice.
Beautiful dumb boy.
This part sounds like Ryan Beatty. This part sounds the drums. We got the big with the toms. This is very 80s. All of a sudden it turned to like 80s, nostalgic 80s kind of shit. This part's nice actually. I'm not gonna lie. I did not like that first part. What did it even sound like at the beginning? It's gotten progressively better. I'm not gonna lie. Dude, this is the beautiful thing about music. It changes with time. Music is like decorated time. And music also changes with time. And it changes almost upon every listen in a way. Not necessarily always true, but in the moment of listening to this song, my opinion of it changed within like a minute or two. It's beautiful, dude. It's okay. The song's not as bad as I thought it was at first. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm still not crazy about the beginning here. Very, very, too sweet almost. But we get into this part. A little breakdown chorus. Is this the hook? This is more of like a bridge or something, or like a pre-chorus. Fuck, man, I don't know. I think this is a pre-chorus, right? See? Woo! song is progressively better.
You're something in that.
Alright, so, you know, it is what it is. We got eyes on Kevin Abstracts. We got eyes on you, Kevin, on what you're doing here. I think a lot of people do, 17,000 people in the last day, specifically. So, thanks for the music, Mr. Abstract. We move on. Chance the Rapper threatens to delay Starline the album over fan gripe. Now, this is a hilarious headline. And I'm glad I read into it a little bit more before the stream, which didn't happen with all of these. But with this one I did. I looked into this one before the stream started. And the headline is hilarious because it's like, oh, Chance the Rapper threatens to delay his album over fan gripe. Like, who gives a flying fuck? But the article is actually kind of cool. So, let's read it. Chance the Rapper has threatened to delay the release of his new album, Starline, due to the way that fans are talking about the project. In a video posted on Instagram on Tuesday, the Chicago rapper laid out his issues with his followers, referring to his upcoming project as The Album and not its official title when interacting with him on social media. Quote, Chance the Rapper, all right. So this was the main point I was trying to make. Stop calling it The Album, he said while riding on his tour bus. And I don't mean that in an ungrateful way. I'm grateful that people are putting in my comments, drop the album. I'm not finna drop the album until y'all start calling it Starline. I'm not gonna drop the project. I'm not gonna do these installations. I got so much shit ready. But I hope that y'all understand that. So I like this approach, what Chance is doing, and it seems to be actually coming from the heart. You know, like really, he cares about this project. He really, truly cares about this project, and it seems to be more than just an album. He mentions here installations. You know, he's doing art installations probably around Chicago, as he does, as he should. As he's always been a community guy. And I'm not going to... Alright, so this is a bit of a tangent. I'm a huge Chance the Rapper fan. Big Chance the Rapper fan since 2013. I can pinpoint the day. I remember the first day I listened to Acid Rap by Chance the Rapper. And from that day, May 2013, some one of those days in May 2013, that month, May 2013, he's always been one of my faves. He's had some very low points, okay, everybody knows that. It's undeniable. He's had extremely low points. I was one of those people, I don't know how many, but I pre-ordered The Big Day. So in 2019, let's rewind it back to 2019 here. His most recent project at that point before The Big Day dropped was what, Coloring Book, right? All he had dropped is Coloring Book and Acid Rap. And so he announces The Big Day. He drops the cover. He drops, I don't even think he had a single out. Not a single song from the album out. And I pre-ordered the CD because I was broke. I don't know why I pre-ordered. So I didn't even have I guess I didn't have a record player at that time. I'm pretty sure my cat broke it. So I didn't have otherwise I would have pre-ordered the vinyl. But thank God I didn't. It would have been more expensive. And so I pre-ordered the CD and got it. And, all the events transpired after that album, It was the worst album of all time when it dropped. And, rightfully so, is still considered a very bad album. But I got it on CD. So I'm just trying to paint the picture of the type of fan I am. And since then I'm like, okay, whatever. He's dropped some good singles since then. It's not all over for Chance. But I like this, the Starline. He's been talking about the Starline. Let's look at the Starline singles here. Let's go to Apple Music. And I accidentally opened Discord. And so we're going to have to force quit Discord. And then we're going to go to Apple Music here, and we're going to type in Chance the Rapper. He's been dropping singles for this album for like 2 years. I mean, I don't know what's actually gonna end up on the album, but all these singles he's dropped with like with these type of covers here, like with these, you know, weirdly framed photos. Buried Alive, Child of God, About a Bar. You know, these are dating back 2 years. So who knows what's on the album? He's been cooking, people. He's been cooking. And that's what he wants you to know. And that's what he wants people in his comments to know, that I am getting a FaceTime that I'm going to have to answer. So hold up. So, anyways, stop calling it the album. Put some respect on its name. People are in Chance's comments saying, drop the album, drop the album. You know, Chance is seeing through that. He's like, y'all don't give a fuck about the album. Y'all just want to see me stumble and fumble and fall on my fucking feet. And you can't blame Chance for feeling that, because that's what they want. Anybody, I feel Chance on this, dude. People in his comments are like, drop the album, without calling it its by its proper name. They want the album because they want to hear it and they want it to be bad so they can shit on Chance the Rapper. No. Do you guys want the star line or not? Do you want the star line or not? I want the star line. Try not to cuss as much. On the stream, at least. Alright, my daughter's crying. Hold up. Back like I never left with a hot dog sausage. Alright, so this was the main point I was trying to make. Stop calling it the album, he said while riding on his tour bus. And I don't mean that in an ungrateful... We already read this. I'm not finna drop the album until y'all start calling it Starline. I'm not gonna drop the project. I'm not gonna do these installations. I got so much shit ready, but I hope y'all understand that. And we gotta see this video. Alright, Chance continued. Drop the album. That's for all the other artists. For everybody else whose work I also appreciate. What does that mean? Drop the album? That's for all the other artists. For everybody else whose work I also appreciate. That's like a sneak diss. That's definitely a sneak diss. Y'all don't say drop the album to anybody but me. Or no, the opposite. Y'all say drop the album to everybody but me. Y'all understand? I'm Chance the Rapper. I got divorced. But what I'm doing is something different. It's something very specific. It's called Starline. And that, my friends, I vibe with. What I'm doing is something different. It's something very specific. It's called Starline. That one line has me excited for the Chance the Rapper album. Don't disappoint me, Chance. So if y'all gonna press me for the project, don't put drop the album in my comments, because it makes me feel like y'all don't know what's going on. Maybe we don't. Maybe we don't know what's going on. I've been saying one specific phrase for like 2-3 years now. I've been saying Starline. I'm eating a sausage here. It's so good. Let's see what the video has to say here. No, you guys aren't even reading with me. Fuck.
Alright, so this was the main point I was trying to make. Stop calling it the album. And I don't mean that in a ungrateful way. I'm grateful that people are putting in my comments, drop the album.
Is this 2013 Chance? Who is this? Are we getting 2013 Chance? This looks like old Chance. He took off the 3 hat. Dude, thank you, Chance. Specifically for this one video, thank you for taking off the 3 hat. You can't wear the same hat for 9 years, dude. It's almost been 9 years, bro. It's been 8.5 years. You can't wear the same hat for 8.5 years, which you did. You did that. But at least you're back to the bucket hats right now in this one video.
I'm not gonna drop the album until y'all start calling it Starline. I'm not gonna drop the project. I'm not gonna do these installations. I'm not gonna do. I got so much shit ready, but like, I hope that y'all understand that I understand how all this stuff works.
I understand that you understand how it works, but I could never.
Drop the album. That's for all the other artists. That's for everybody else whose work I also appreciate. You know, but like,
it was a sneak diss, bro. Show us what you got, Chance. It better be fucking good with a statement like that, bro.
like, what I'm doing is something different, something very specific. It's called Starline. So if y'all gonna press me for the project and tell me it's time to drop, don't drop the album in my comments, because it makes me feel like you don't know what's going on. Like you ain't
Fair.
been hearing the.
And he has a really good point, because everybody in his comments saying drop the album to anything he posts is definitely trolling him. And he like kind of doesn't get it in a way here, is what I'm sensing, which is kind of funny. Chance, you do you, man. Don't listen to the haters, bro. You are one of a kind, my friend. You are one of a kind. Literally nobody else could do you. Not even your brother. No hate. No hate to your brother, but just saying. There's only one chance. Let's move on. We gotta move on here. So, Nelly arrested for ecstasy possession. This was posted a week ago, but I thought it was funny. And even my mom noticed it. I went on this road trip to Colorado with my mom, and she brought it up. I didn't even bring it up. She brought it up. And I was like, yeah, I did hear about that. I'm pretty sure it was for ecstasy. Wait a minute now. Uh-oh! We already know what he was popping that night. Like, boom! Let's see what it says. Nelly arrested for ecstasy possession. The Missouri State Highway Patrol in Missouri. The Missouri State Highway Patrol tells TMZ the incident occurred at 4:45 Wednesday. The agency has a gaming division with troopers stationed at the Hollywood Casino in St. Charles. I'm from Missouri. That's why I said it like that. Nelly was asked to show his ID to police, and his info was run for verification in accordance with Missouri Gaming Commission regulations. Police found Nelly had an active warrant for no insurance from a previous traffic stop conducted by Maryland Heights Police. Nelly was arrested for the active warrant, and he was searched. That's when 4 ecstasy pills were found on his person. According to the Highway Patrol, Nelly was booked for felony drug possession on a warrant for no vehicle insurance. Oh no! Dude, this is so whack, bro. Like, realistically. So he was driving, so that is pretty, I was going to say, realistically, did Nelly do anything wrong here? He was driving with no insurance at one point. Shouldn't do that. Have I done that? Absolutely. Should you go to jail for that? In my opinion, no. Should you get fined for it? Yes. So at one point he had a warrant for no vehicle insurance. And then they pulled him over for what? So why was he pulled over? He has to show. Agency has a gaming division with troopers stationed at the Hollywood Casino. Nelly was asked to show his ID to police, and his info was run for verification in accordance with Missouri Gaming Commission regulations. Police found Nelly had an active warrant for no insurance. So was he at the casino? Dude. So wait, I need to know more, and maybe my questions will get answered in this, but I have to pose these questions at this point. Was he pulled over while driving a vehicle? If not, were these troopers stationed at the Hollywood Casino just inside the hotel, and they have a right to stop you while you're walking on foot inside of a hotel to randomly scan your ID? He had to have been driving. So it only makes sense that he was driving. Police found Nelly had an active warrant for no insurance from a previous traffic stop. Nelly was arrested for the active warrant. It's so unclear to me. He could have been driving. He couldn't have been. I don't know. He had an active warrant because from a previous traffic stop, he didn't have insurance. Which is so dumb because you can just go to the courthouse and prove that you had it. If you can't show them in the moment, you can go to the courthouse, show them you have insurance or had insurance at the time, and they'll, the fact that he had an active warrant for something that ridiculous is ridiculous. That's on him. But 4 ecstasy pills were found on his person. To get arrested for ecstasy is so lame, dude. I understand it's illegal federally, but I feel like it's one of the it won't be for forever. Hopefully, insane. Ecstasy. Hard drugs like heroin, meth, crack. I guess I can see that, but I don't know. Nelly was booked for felony drug possession and on a warrant for no vehicle insurance. Bad news for Nelly. The rapper was busted in Missouri and cops say illicit drugs are involved. Nelly was arrested early Wednesday morning for a couple offenses. Possession of 4 e-pills and not having insurance according to online arrest records. The Hot in Here rapper was busted in Maryland Heights, a suburb outside of St. Louis, Nelly's hometown. I'm from KC. Shout out Missouri. Nelly, government name, blah, blah, Cornell Haynes, was taken into custody at 4:45 a.m. Wednesday and booked at the Maryland Heights Police Department. He's since been released. Before age? After age. TMZ obtained Nelly's mugshot, and his eyes appear bloodshot. And he's mostly expressionless in a black hoodie, white undershirt, and some bling. So yeah, okay, that's about it. Nelly was arrested. Interesting. Let's move on. All right. So we've got Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine open innovative high school in LA. Posted today at 3 a.m. So this is some sort of, like breaking news in a way. I got my little baby with me to read about this new story here. Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine have taken their Defiant Ones partnership into the classroom. God, I know I'm like the worst streamer. I fucking suck. Let's read through this. Okay. Really quickly. Even though this is part of the cover story. So, the reason why I said good versus evil is because we happen to have 2 stories from 2 morally questionable people in the hip-hop community. And those two people happen to be Kanye West and Dr. Dre. Now, it might be more obvious to people right now why Kanye is morally questionable. He has been, accused of racist, anti-Semitic remarks. Not even just accused, just like outright, just like blatantly, horrifically anti-Semitic recently, and within the last 2 years. And it's just awful to watch. And he has also started a school in LA, which has been through its own controversies and has been since shut down. And I'm pretty sure is in like the midst of some sort of lawsuit. Now, Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine are opening a school in LA as well, like Kanye did. And also like Kanye, Dr. Dre, his past is filled with controversy. Dre infamously beat a partner, was, accused and found guilty, as far as I'm aware, of domestic abuse in his past. He's even been accused of, and then he went through this, nasty divorce with his wife recently, and, I don't know. I don't fucking know, but Dr. Dre is clearly proven himself to be not a great domestic partner, for one reason or another, and, so we got both of these dudes opening schools. Now, Kanye's has already gone through its own life at this point, and we will be talking about Kanye later on. But Dr. Dre and Jamie Iovine, who have been partners for a long time now, partners since the Beats days, Beats headphones, which my wife still has a pair of those. It's crazy to me. I never was a fan of Beats, but let's read this article about their new school in LA. Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine have taken their Defiant Ones partnership into the classroom with the opening of a new high school in Inglewood, California. The powerhouse exec, minus the good doctor, showed up in Inglewood on Monday to kick off the Iovine and Young Center Integrated Design Technology and Entrepreneurship Magnet, which will open next year. Let's click on this link here. All right, so this is the school. IYC, Iovine and Young Center. So their names are on it. We got Dre and Iovine's names on it. And so because I had kind of briefly looked at this, I was wondering, so Dre is, has his fair share of controversy, and people still kind of talk about it. I feel like it hasn't even really hit the head yet, with Dr. Dre in his past. And, he didn't show up to this powerhouse executive kickoff. Oh, wait. Iovine is the powerhouse executive, but Dre did not show up to the kickoff, which Iovine did show up to for the school. And so I was like, does that mean, maybe Dre wasn't invited? Maybe they don't want to necessarily, Dre funded it and his name is attached to it, but they don't want to, promote that. But no, his name is on the damn website. And this looks cool. Look at this. This kid is in workshop with VR. Now, if that's not the future, I don't know what it is. The Iovine and Young Center Integrated Design, Technology, and Entrepreneurship Magnet, quite the mouthful, offers a cutting-edge, interdisciplinary program that fuses a curriculum with real-world, project-based learning opportunities with top institutions and companies. The Iovine and Young Center IDTE Magnet students will have unparalleled access to innovative technologies and opportunities to collab with top educators, industry experts, and executives. Students will develop relevant 21st century skills that will prepare them for competitive colleges and careers of the future. So this is part of a school district, which makes it automatically way better than what the fuck Kanye was doing. Kanye shit was a private school, but just no oversight, no board, no school board type of shit, just sketch, and it was proven to be sketchy. But our school was founded by Jimmy Iovine and Andre Dr. Dre Young. An entrepreneurial spirit and strong ability to communicate served the business partners well in endeavors like Beats by Dre. Now the pair are shifting their focus to helping students forge their own futures. After sensing a desperate need for collaborative, empathetic professionals in the workforce, Jimmy Iovine and Andre Dr. Dre Young dedicated their efforts to teaching these skills in school. The pair achieved success in their first foray into education at the college level with the University of Southern California Iovine and Young Academy, IYA, and are adapting the curriculum for high school students. So this has already been a thing at the college level. Dre is doing everything Kanye wishes that he was. I mean, that's not even necessarily correct. Kanye reached the heights of Dre and surpassed the heights of Dre. And Kanye has no mechanism of stopping. And I guess you could call it a mental illness. You know, I guess that is a symptom of Kanye's mental illness. And we're going to dive deeper into the concepts of Kanye's mental illness later in the stream. But for now, I have to stop my child from dropping pennies. We'll see how it goes, you know what I mean? I mean, I hope the best for this. I do have more faith in it. So the Parachiefs, I'm pretty sure this is connected to a public school. Let's see if we can... So yeah, LA USD. What is this? Yeah, Los Angeles Unified School District. Second largest... It has a board of education. You know, this... I'm not 100% sure that this is public, but if it has a board, it's got to be public. It's a public part of the public school district, right? So, you know, oversight. We love oversight, people. Whoa! The learning, they teach audio. Of course they do. This I would have killed for a school like this. I would have killed for a school like this. I would have thrived at a school like this in high school. Wow, this is a clusterfuck of a stream, and I truly apologize for that. The last story I had here, you know, the last, we just wrapped up Iovine and Young Sinner. It is what it is. It's interesting. We'll keep our eye on it. But so also Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign's Vultures 2 suffer steep sales fall in week 2. So, is this surprising to anybody? Worst fucking A-list drop of the year so far. Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign's new album Vultures 2, even worse than the first. How could they have gotten worse than the first? I don't know, but they did it. Oh, actually, I do know. They could have just released an unfinished album, and that's what they did. You know, that's how you make it worse than Vultures 1. You just release it completely unfinished. Oh, okay, we can do that. Looking at a major drop-off in its second week on the Billboard 200 chart after debuting at number 2 and moving 107,000 album equivalent units. DJ Academics reported that the project is only on pace to sell 31,000 units this time around. That is quite the steep drop-off. In response to the news, fans have been sharing plenty of jokes on social media. Give us Drake's 3-track EP sales number. One user on X wrote. Another joke. Now Kanye is competing with Lotto. Which is interesting because I just made a tweet on the Quarter Day Recordings Threads account, which you should follow on Threads if you have a Threads account at Quarter Day Recordings. Lotto is just the female Drake. And I kind of believe that. You want to play piano? You do? You want me to put it down? You play piano? Daddy's streaming, okay? This stream isn't gonna last long. My daughter is not letting me do this tonight. But we will power through here. We will power through, and we will get to the interesting shit. Don't worry. So yeah, Kanye's competing with Lotto, who is the female Drake. If you follow our Threads account, you know that by now. So Kanye is competing with the female Drake, which doesn't surprise me. That's about where, in my mind, Kanye is at, like, creatively, mentally, as far as, like, on the cusp of things. He is, like, equivalent to the female Drake, whoever that may be. In my mind, that's just Lotto, you know. Although we will get in the new music section, she has some amazing songs on her new album. 2 specifically amazing songs on her new album. So, you know, no hate to Lotto over here. One former fan wrote, I never imagined Kanye would ever be selling this poorly. As a huge Kanye fan, I don't even listen to him anymore. The last album I listened to was Jesus is King. Now that's weird because Donda is actually a very good album. And also before he became an anti-Semite. So, you know, I feel like the wrong things are bothering this person. But, you know, he has the right idea that the music isn't as good these days. Donda is really good, though. Despite only debuting at number 2, Ty Dolla $ign mistakenly remarked that the project topped the Billboard 200 chart during a recent concert. Number 1 motherfucking album, man, he told the crowd before performing the track Promotion. In actuality, Taylor Swift beat out the duo with her latest project, The Tortured Poets Department. It was that album's 14th week atop the chart. How? I do not know because that album is not good either. Where is Schoolboy Q? Where is Willow? Where is No Worries on these charts? Where is Mike on these charts? Where's Vampire Weekend on these charts? Where is Brittany Howard on these charts? I don't know. The charts are whack. You know, this is my 2024 halftime report. January through June of 2024. But anyways. So, you know, it is what it is. Kanye, his music isn't as good. Even his fans that don't give a shit about the Nazi era, that don't give a shit about the racism era that Kanye is going through, which isn't even just an era, it just is, yay. Even they have come to realize that his music just ain't it anymore. You know, if you are keeping up with music on a weekly basis, you have plenty of places to go to for incredible music that at this point, honestly, is just kind of blowing Kanye's stuff out of the water. Nazi or not. But, so let's kind of roll. That's a good segue. Just kind of go directly into our New Music of the Week segment. So, projects. I want to start out with a project, actually, that didn't come out this week. It came out March 22nd, 2024. This is a group I'm new to. They're called Nourished by Time. Nourished by Time. This EP of theirs, Catching Chickens. They go by, you know, like an alternative group. That's their label here. Not even sure exactly off the top of my head where I found them. It was some new drop. They had some collab with some new, you know, some other artists. There's flies all around me right now, but I'm trying to get them. God damn. But yeah, you gotta check this out. This is like a quick one. Catching Chickens EP, Nourished by Time. Check it out. Didn't come out this week, but incredible listen. Incredible 6 songs. Very nostalgic, 90s type of nostalgic vibes. I only listened to it a couple times so far, but I'm very excited about it. I'm going to continue to listen to it, as it might be one of my favorite EPs of the year so far. Continuing with projects, we've got the new Jack White album. Holy shit! I didn't know this was a thing. I don't think anybody did. August 2nd, this dropped. This didn't drop this week either. This dropped 2 weeks ago. I didn't know this dropped. Right under my nose. First person that told me about it, first place that I saw it was on The Needle Drop. Anthony Fantano reviewed it. His no review for No Name, Jack White. I was like, oh shit. The fuck? Jack White dropped an album? It's so good! It sounds like White Stripes. Evolutionized. Evolution of White Stripes. A proper evolution of White Stripes. This one, Boarding House Reach in 2018. I loved that album at the time. And I'm not going to lie, it has not aged very well. Not aged very well. And then he also dropped Fear of the Dawn 2 years ago, which I was not super crazy about. It had some spots, you know. Oh, I haven't seen this orange version of the cover. That's kind of cool. You know, with the Q-tip. And then he also dropped this one, Entering Heaven Alive, in 2022 as well. Okay, it is what it is. I wasn't, not crazy about these. They dropped. They were. I didn't ignore them. I didn't forget about them. They just were what they were. But this one is fucking amazing, and I actually think this one will stand the test of time. Why do I think that? Because it has remnants of the White Stripes in it. And the White Stripes is what makes Jack White Jack White. In a lot of his solo albums, he has strayed away from that, and I can't necessarily blame him for doing that. You know, he can't make the same type of music his entire career. He is a true creative, a true artist. He's going to experiment. He's going to go in different directions. Things like Lazaretto, Blunderbuss. But when he comes back to his bread and butter, I mean, this is it. This is him coming back to his bread and butter, and he did it correctly. So I'm excited about it. The new Mavi album. This one definitely deserves a shout out, and it definitely deserves more listens by me. Like I keep saying, I was out of town this weekend, so I was doing a little late catching up on the new music. I have only listened to this album. I've only gone through it once, and it was putting me in a special spot. I actually have 2 friends listening to it now. My head is blocking it, but this was hitting. It was hitting those Saba vibes, those Saba corners of my soul, those Monte Booker corners of my soul. I feel like that's, you know, if you like that kind of stuff, check this out. That's what I gotta say. I'm excited to listen to this one more. And then also the new King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard album, Flight B741. Holy shit. This one. If you like the Jack White shit, check this one out too. That's what I gotta say. I don't know how else to put it. You know, I'm a hip-hop guy. I'm assuming if you're here, you're a hip-hop fan. So this might not be your normal cup of tea. But if you like, you know, classic rock, if you like alternative rock, if you like the White Stripes by chance, I would check this out. And I only say the White Stripes because I'm talking about Jack White already in here. But, you know, this is fantastic. They have so many albums, so many different styles. I'm not a big fan of all of their styles. I haven't listened to all of their albums. Jeez. Oh my god. She is not letting me stream tonight. But we will get through it. We will get through it. And you will need to check out the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard album. Flight B741. You'll need to check it out. It took me by shock. You know, I wasn't sure what to expect because they have so many different styles. This one is concise. Every song is in the same style, which is a good, they do that. You know, the whole album typically is in like the same style, but this one hits. The songs are hitting. This is a style they should stick with, if you ask me. They should make more albums in this style. Less albums in the like death metal style. You know, no hate to fans of death metal, but you know, if King Gizzard and the Lizard Wither, whatever the fucking hell their name is, only has a certain amount of time, a finite amount of time to make a finite amount of music, they should make more like this. And that's all for the projects I want to shout out. So we're going to move into the songs I want to shout out, which include A new single by Elucid, featuring Billy Woods, titled Instant Transfers. So Billy Woods and Elucid together are known as the group Armand Hammer. They've released projects such as Paraffin and Why Buy Diabetic Test Strips together. But they've been releasing music together for the last 10 years. Elucid has a solo album coming out soon on October 11th, and the second of 2 singles so far features Billy Woods. The song Instant Transfer, very good song. Very, very good song. The beat is off kilter. It's quirky. The two are dark as ever, lyrical as ever. Let's read a little bit of the lyrics here. Verse 1 by Elucid. 5-side, keep the tape warm. Wrapped rays weighing way more. Racks raid, how we wage war. Slack, walk to a main course. Numbskull at a gun show. Fuck a gumshoe talking legalese. Paperwork, need to see it please. Slack, walk, I remain raw. 5-side, tape the tape, keep the tape warm. Let the car run. Sky roof, I'm an archer. Bow drawn, just watching. When it's your turn, it's your time. You won't hear no goodbyes. I read that on the internet. It's really coming alive. I'm just here for the night. I think you might just be psychic. Counting up in the dark, I might work with the wires. If we talking about power, who needs more eye to eye? Pecked, sight beyond flex, coward, counting up in the dark. I might work with the wires if we talking about power. Walking backwards through the flowers, I feel bubble-headed. Reality testing, I need extra credit. Sky page text, alphanumeric. Blind days, rain taste metallic. Dark road lined with tall pine. Fire tongue in the annex. So, it's good shit. And then Billy Woods here, that was Elucid. Like, I've only listened to the song a few times. I was busy this week, okay, and I like this one, and I took note of this song. Maybe we can get a little taster.
Just watch. When it's your time.
Off kilter, dark, minor. We got like beepers. We got heavy falling crescendos. And we got Billy Woods and Elucid. Alright, great. Logic dropped a new album, and I want to point out this song specifically titled Antidote, featuring Zayloopers. Zayloopers, Bruiser Brigade fame, which is Danny Brown's label. Antidote. One of the better songs, one of the best songs on this album of his, Ultra 85 by Logic. Shout out that album. Go listen to it. The album, I'd give it about a 6 out of 10. You know, off first listen. But this song really stood out to me. I'm a big fan of Zayloopers. This song is great. It goes right into, you know, I just love Zayloopers features. I'm always here for a Zayloopers feature, and he tends to hop on tracks that are just the wackiest, craziest beats. Wonder if we can get a little taster here without getting claimed. We'll try it out. So this one's not even that crazy, not that wacky of a beat to be honest. But let's check out the Zayloopers feature.
Can't laugh, can't have happiness, cause my bitch is I got my shirt off.
Where is it? So Zayloopers is the wacky, brings the wackiness here. Which I love. So the beat is kind of basic, but Zayloopers comes in on this Logic track. This is big for Zayloopers. We're proud of him. Logic does his thing. This album is, it's a new Logic album, and it's better than most. It's better than a lot of his output in the last 10 years. So give it a check out. Check it out. Give it a listen. Next, I want to specifically point out this song on the King Gizzard album. Daily Blues, the last song on the album, also the longest song on the album, really will give you a taste. If you're unsure, like, should I check out this whole thing or not, listen to Daily Blues. If you like Daily Blues, it'll give you a great idea if you should check out the rest, if you want to check out the rest. This is kind of like the climax, obviously, because it's the last song here, but it is like, it's a great closer track. It takes you through a bunch of different vibes that the band has to offer on this album specifically, because the band also has to offer tons of different types of vibes on whatever album you're listening to. They're the most, what do you call it? The most, oh my god, brain fart. You know, this band can do it all. The band can do it all. I can't believe I'm brain farting on that word, but you know, they're the most like adaptable band. They can do many different styles very well. So let's continue on here. I also want to shout out 2 Lotto singles. The last 2 songs I want to shout out here are 2 songs from the newest Lotto album that came out on Friday, titled Sugar Honey Iced Tea. I hadn't listened to Lotto before this album, really hadn't. I actually made a tweet while listening to this album. Not a tweet, a thread on the Quarter Day Recordings account. If you haven't followed Quarter Day Recordings threads account yet, you should, at Quarter Day Recordings. Lotto, as I was listening to this album, it dawned on me that she is kind of like the female Drake as far as sound goes, and even as far as maybe even marketability. I guess we'll see where she takes her career. That could never pinpoint somebody, but I thought it was a funny observation, and it is what it is. But there were 2 songs that literally brought tears to my eyes. I don't know why, if they brought tears to my eyes. Maybe I was just feeling particularly sensitive in the moment. But these 2 songs, and they go back to back as well. And There She Go and Brokey. This 2-song run here, these 2 songs back to back, could have been the whole fucking album. Like, not literally, obviously, you know, there's a lot of different twists and, you know, kind of different styles on this album, I guess you could say. Different directions she goes. Not every song sounds exactly the same. But these 2 songs are the best 2 songs. They're one after the other. They're so good. I want a album full of these types of tracks, but way shorter than this offering here. That's what I want from Lotto moving forward as a consumer of music. You know, if you happen to hear this, Lotto, maybe that's a good suggestion to go. You know, take inspiration from these 2 songs, There She Go and Brokey. Make a short album with tracks inspired by those 2. Because goddamn, that could fucking break my brain. And that's what I'm looking for. And I think that's what a lot of people are looking for. Okay. So now, at this point, we've reached the rabbit hole section. But I've also reached my wit's end. Vivian has gone to sleep a bit. Not exactly, but she is laying down and not screeching as much. I've got some good rabbit holes, and I have almost too many, and I won't be able to hit all of them. Now, in the thumbnail of this video is a picture of Miley Yiannopoulos, however the fuck is pronounced, in Kanye West, aka Ye. So I should definitely hit that story, which I haven't even looked into, so I will be cracking into that fresh here on the stream. So I'm definitely going to hit that one, and I've got quite a few others, but I should probably only pick one. I've got the Fugees canceled their 2024 tour 3 days before it begins, plus internal beef. So they canceled their tour, and in the days following, one of the members made a diss track about another one of the members. Hilarious and also predictable. So that's funny and light, and probably wouldn't take too long. So that's a good possibility. Dame Dash versus Jay-Z continues. We haven't talked about that on stream, but Dame Dash has been trying to call out Jay-Z for a while now, as far as like owner rights of Reasonable Doubt, blah blah blah. There's updates on that. There's a video by our fellow YouTuber 1111. He made his new video, Why Future Abandoned Drake. I watched that today. It was a good one. It was very good. We could react to that. And then we also have, of course, The Dream accused of physical abuse and rape in lawsuit, which isn't fresh, but it is kind of evergreen in this moment, at least for this year. And I meant to talk about it last week, but I didn't. So I haven't decided exactly what we're going to hop into, but we will start with the yay. We will start with the yayo. So I have not cracked into this. This happened while I was on vacation. I was trying not to look too deep into things, but it was funny. This is a very funny accusation. I don't know. So we're just gonna read and go one step at a time here and see what we got. 7 days ago, former Yeezy chief of staff Milo Yiannopoulos, a character who we have talked about on the show at least once, he makes allegations about Kanye's dentist, claiming that he has been feeding Kanye an unhealthy supply of nitrous oxide. Now, this, on its face, seems very absurd, but the whole Michael Jackson thing happened. You know, before Michael Jackson died, maybe you would have a case that this seems absurd and obnoxious on face. But I think what Milo realizes here is that people might actually believe this. I don't know if it's true or not, but whether it is or not, you know, Milo can hook people with this because of Michael Jackson dying from nitrous oxide being supplied by his doctor. You know, this is plausible to people. So let's continue. Link to the full thread. Maybe we should just read the... So, directly from Milo. There is a reason Ye, formerly known as Kanye, is no longer capable of successfully releasing music or clothing. In fact, there are several reasons, but the most serious and the most recent is his dentist, Thomas Connolly. What was the doctor's name that got convicted of harming Michael Jackson? Wasn't his last name Connolly as well? Maybe I'm wrong there. Dude, fuck X, bro. They won't let me. Oh my god. Will they let me see his page? Okay. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. This guy is not. Oh. Oh my god. The fact that anybody takes this guy's reporting seriously at all. I had people telling me that Kanye is and his dentist, and they don't even know who Milo is. And I'm like, you do know where that info came from, and they don't. It's like, look, dude, it came from this guy who posted this. But anyway, so it looks like all the Ye stuff has been deleted. No, it's not all deleted. All he tweeted was this. So what else is here? Tweet number 1, Connolly got Ye hooked. So where's this? Is this deleted? So he is... What? Dude, man, fuck X. Worst website ever. So we'll just continue on Reddit here. Connolly got Ye hooked on nitrous laughing gas. It is my belief that Connolly sought to diminish Ye's mental faculties so that Connolly and his business associates could extract millions of dollars from him. Mind you, this is also coming at the same time as that strange video of a Kanye West storage unit being bought and then like I don't know, raped in a way on the internet. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody bought a Ye storage unit. I don't know if they knew it was Ye's or not at the time of purchase, but then they continued to like film every single piece of merchandise in that unit, which I would too. Don't get me wrong, I would be filming it too, but you know, so like I can see how someone could like be like, oh, they're trying to like, maybe the dentist is associated with the fucking storage unit people and they're trying to extract millions of dollars from Ye, and they're, you know, like I see the conspiracy theory route that people would take here. Let's continue. Milo tweets, earlier this year, I uncovered the fraud and intervened. Ye, hooked on nitrous, blew up our relationship on purpose by proposing something he knew I'd have to resign over because I had told him so, the resurrection of his longtime idle fantasy of making porn. Okay, so that is something we have covered on the show. So let's read this again. Ye, hooked on nitrous, blew up over our relationship on purpose by proposing something he knew I'd have resigned over because I had told him so, the resurrection of his long... So... Milo tried to supposedly expose Kanye or confront Kanye about an addiction to nitrous oxide. Ye didn't like that in order to get Milo out of his life because Kanye, like, this is clear to me, Kanye has, like, no control over his own life, which is sad. That is sad. He has people trying to take advantage of him from every direction, almost like a child star in a way. This is not unsimilar to child stars, especially back in the day, the Disney days, Miley Cyrus. You know, you fill in the blank of the name of the child star. And they have, Lindsay Lohan. They don't have Britney Spears. They don't have control over their lives for certain periods of time. Some more lucky than others, or more unlucky, I should say, than others. But that has seemed to be Kanye's situation for a while now, to me. And so, in order to get this guy out of his life, instead of just being able to, like, be like, yo, you know, instead of having control over your own life and being able to kick a man out of your own life, the only way Kanye has to get him out of his life, because he's calling him out for being hooked on nitrous, is to propose something that he knows the other party will resign over because he's told him so, which was the resurrection of Yeezy porn, which was a headline that came out earlier this year. Kanye is making Yeezy porn. Nobody gave a fuck because Kanye is Kanye. He is going to continue to be Kanye and announce crazy business ideas and shit. Supposedly it was all just to get Milo out, which is something we have covered. And we read Milo's resignation letter, which is hilarious and disturbing at the same time. Tweet number 3. Thomas Connolly is a dangerous predator who targets African American celebrities into whose mouth he puts fake diamonds. As I suspect he did to Lil Yachty, he must be stopped. I filed a complaint with the California Dental Board last week to that end. Okay. Full text of Milo's affidavit. Sworn juror affidavit regarding Thomas P. Connolly. What the fuck is this? Okay, so... Okay. Is this part of it? How do you tweet this long? You can tweet this long? Dude, this is the... Want to publish your own article? Dude, Twitter is a fucking rat hole. Holy shit. Alright, so this is somehow attached to the tweet, which I don't even understand X anymore. Don't understand how it works. But this is a tweet. Being duly sworn, I hereby swear under oath that what follows is a faithful and accurate account of the facts. My legal name is Milo. I'm 39 years of age. I reside at blah, blah, blah. Damn, he gave his entire address out on the internet. Holy shit. What the fuck? I began my career as a political commentator in New York Times, best-selling author, and award-winning investigative reporter. Since 2018, I have served congressmen, senators, billionaires, and most recently megastars in the role of chief operating officer or chief of staff, tasked with solving mysteries and fixing problems where others have failed. Yeah, Milo the mystery solver. Fucking goddamn part of the goddamn Scooby-Doo. Between 2022 and 24, I worked for the rapper, fashion designer, and entrepreneur Ye, formerly known as Kanye West. I resigned from his company, Yeezy LLC, in May 24 on a matter unrelated to this complaint. On a matter unrelated to this complaint. Okay, true. At which time I held the position of chief of staff. I was the most senior employee in the company, which is just wild. Like, his credentials, is this man even smart? Like, what does Milo bring to the table to Yeezy? Like, that I don't understand. I need answers here, Kanye. What the fuck? Why aren't other people asking these questions? People closer to him. People bigger than me. Why the fuck is Milo Yiannopoulos the chief of staff of Yeezy? Yeezy the street brand? Yeezy as in Yeezus the album? The one with the song New Slaves on it? Like, what the fuck is going on? What is this timeline? Why are people still Kanye fans? Why can't people see through this shit? Anyways, Milo continues. Prior to my work with Ye, I served as a senior congressional aide to Georgia Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. God damn. Before that, I worked for a series of wealthy private individuals in Florida. I'm sure they're great. I therefore possess a respectable track record of exposing fraud, theft, and ill intent of every kind. How? How I therefore possess a respectable track... Where does working for Marjorie Taylor Greene and for a series of wealthy private individuals give you a respectable track record of exposing fraud? How could someone... I hope this doesn't get taken seriously by a judge. You gotta be shitting me. What the fuck is this? I therefore possess a respectable track record for exposing fraud, theft, and ill intent of pedophiles? Of pedophiles' intents? That's all I know you of. Expose the intent of pedophiles for me, please. That's what you're known for, Mr. Milo. And also being a recovering homosexual, let's not forget. The brave and the daring recovering homosexuals out there look up to Milo. Wow, dude. Wow, you are a piece of shit. And what you're saying, what you're accusing of Ye's dentist of pumping him of nitrous oxide, that shit probably is true. I'm not even disbelieving that. It's just everything else, dude. It's the fact that people aren't talking about this. The fact that Kanye is still kind of respected as an artist and as a celebrity. That's what angers me here. Not the fact that any of this is happening. I expect people to be psychotic. I don't expect the general population to praise the psychotic. You know what I mean? This goes on, but it's kind of interesting, so we're going to continue. I offer this account in support of my complaint to the California Dental Board submitted today pertaining to reckless, unethical, dishonest, exploitative, and, upon information and belief, illegal conduct by Thomas P. Connolly, DDS. So I'm curious the relationship between Milo and Thomas P. Connolly. I feel like Milo has some sort of beef against this man. I'm gonna just see what if I can quickly find any past interactions between the two, but before the last few days. So obviously everything's gonna be from the last few days here. 7 days, 8 days. 6 days. A week ago. I want to look for stuff damn, everything's just from the last couple of days. So, yeah. Let's look into... So I'm not seeing anything older than the last week. I'm curious if there's any past... So this is the doctor. Okay, he's a famous doctor, at least. Lil Yachty follows him. Kevin Abstract. So he does grills for famous rappers. DaBaby. Okay, so is this guy actually a dentist? Is that Usher? No, it's not. he does grills. Does that mean he's a dentist? I don't know. That's kind of like something special, right? For the avoidance of doubt, I write in a personal capacity at Ye's most senior member of staff. For the avoidance of doubt, I write in a personal capacity as Ye's most senior member of staff for nearly 2 years, motivated by urgent concerns for his safety and his health. In my own capacity and on behalf of several individuals close to him, I am not in a position to authorize the release of Ye's medical records, nor would I presume to do without his consent. Persons named in this affidavit include Ye, Bianca Sensori, Milo, Billy Walsh, a former advisor to Ye, Joe the Grocer Welsh, an associate of Connolly's, Jonathan Solorzano, former chief of tech officer, and blank, someone else, Idris Quiba, business associate. Okay, the subject of this declaration is of sufficient gravity that I have taken the additional and unusual step of providing you a sworn jurat affidavit, which means that I write today under penalty of perjury. A copy of this complaint affidavit and supporting documentation has also been provided to the FBI and Office of Attorney General for reasons that will be apparent. So, who is this dentist? Thomas Connolly is a dentist licensed in California with the number blank who maintains, jeez, that's just like straight doxing. Holy shit. God, I can't believe oh my god. The unlawful supply of enormous quantities of nitrous gas to a wealthy, famous patient for explicitly recreational use. Okay, so what Milo is saying is that Kanye is asking the dentist for this shit. The dentist is giving it to him. This is a dentist who works with rappers, does a lot of grills, has access more than likely to this type of gas. Supposedly Kanye is paying him for it to get high. Do I necessarily disbelieve that? No. I don't disbelieve that at all, actually. It actually kind of, it makes some sense. And so this is, Milo is apparently noticing this and has a moral dilemma about this. And this man is charging Ye $50,000 a month for this service, continuing to supply the gas long after the emergence of distressing symptoms that led to widespread comment and concern. Instruction to patient and the operation of nitrous gas canisters left by Connolly at the patient's home, knowingly encouraging their use in the absence of a qualified anesthetist or medical professional by a person with a history of mental illness and addiction. The abandonment of said patient to the self-destructive consequence of said dependence, showing indifference or worse to the prospect of permanent damage in brain and body by Connolly's negligence at best and malice with the intent to defraud at worst. So all of this is actually believable, dude. Milo is like a piece of shit, still a piece of shit, but this, what he is saying, is believable. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just saying it doesn't seem like a stretch. How we doing? How we doing? So, I'm not going to make it much longer on this stream here, people. We've done a lot. We hit a lot, and I have a lot of rabbit holes, but I'm going to cut them all out and just stop here on the Milo Yiannopoulos. We're going to continue to read through this, and we're going to stop here at Milo. Unfortunately, I know. Oh, it's unfortunate. Oh, I know, but my daughter needs me, and I've done enough here tonight. But let's continue on here. At number 3? Nope. Number 4, I offered this account in support of my complaint to the Federal Dental Board as submitted today pertaining to reckless... We read all that. The subject of this declaration is of sufficient gravity that I have taken the additional and unusual step of providing you a sworn jurat affidavit, which means that I write today under penalty of perjury. So, he is writing under penalty of perjury here which means, I guess you can just like claim that and the judge will take it into account, take it serious. A copy of this complaint affidavit and supporting documentation has also been provided to the FBI. So apparently Milo is very serious about this. Anything that Milo says or claims, I kind of take with a grain of salt, off rip. But he is providing the judge with a sworn jurate affidavit, which means that he is writing under penalty of perjury. If that's true, that does add some weight to his words here. Gives his address, doxes him. Okay, so continuing on, he has committed the unlawful supply of enormous quantities of nitrous gas to a wealthy, famous patient. I called him a super patient for explicitly recreational use. The physical transportation of 4 surgical-sized canisters by Connolly himself into the patient's home on just one afternoon, charging more than $50,000 per month for his service, continuing to supply the gas long after the emergence of distressing symptoms that led to widespread comment and concern. So he's trying to blame all the anti-Semitism and shit and craziness on nitrous oxide. I believe the nitrous oxide shit. I don't believe that the nitrous oxide is what's making Ye a neo-Nazi. I think he just is a neo-Nazi. Instruction to the patient in the operation of nitrous gas canisters left by Connolly at the patient's home, knowingly encouraging their use in the absence of a qualified anesthetist or medical professional by a person with a history of mental illness and addiction, the abandonment of said patient to the self-destructive consequence of said dependence, showing indifference or worse to the prospect of permanent damage in brain and in body by Connolly's negligence at best and malice with the intent to defraud at worst. Upon information and belief, the wrongful and fraudulent extraction of millions of dollars by Connolly and his business associates from a patient he knew to be in a confused, dependent, weakened, and addicted state. Connolly's sudden move into the patient's apartment building at the patient's own expense so as to better keep an eye on him. Better keep an eye on is in quotes. And the subsequent lies about the source of the funds for the move. Text messages which appear to show Connolly inquiring about the possibility of paying a third party to commit violence against the author of this affidavit when he failed to secure $200,000 person month consultancy. All right, let's reread this one here. Number 10. Text messages which appear to show Connolly inquiring about the possibility of paying a third party to commit violence, beat the shit out of the person who wrote this affidavit, meaning Milo, meaning the lawyer, when he failed to secure a $200,000 per month consultancy arrangement. Okay, extorting more money. Testimony from Connolly's business partner that he has defrauded dozens of his athlete and celebrity client base by charging them for natural stone diamond orthodontics, but in reality using cheap lab-grown diamonds for as much as 15,000% in price difference. A written confession from Connolly, the most recent of his 2 bankruptcies, was entered into illegally for the purpose of evading tax, and upon info and belief was also calculated to excuse Connolly from a potentially large court judgment pertaining to life-altering surgical mistakes made on a woman's mouth. Okay, it's really stacking up here against Connolly, these accusations. Number 13. Testimony from Connolly's business partner that he owes a debt of more than $2 million to a Mexican drug cartel, and that this cartel owns his surgical practice in Beverly Hills and uses it to launder money. So this is going deep, involving the Mexican cartel now into Mr. Connolly's dental business. I never would have thought that teeth could go this deep. But I guess, there's money. Where there's money, there is crime, right? Is that what they say? Or did I just make that up? Alright. I was elevated to... So Milo, elevated to Chief of Staff, the most senior employee in the company in January of this year. After previously holding the position of political director and head of public affairs, I learned that the company had spent $200 million in 23 while bringing in no revenue whatsoever. So apparently Milo is good with money? I didn't know about that. In addition, the company faced hundreds of millions of dollars worth of legal exposure. I immediately placed the business into emergency measures, terminating more than 130 people in my first month on the job. So Milo's in there making fucking moves, bro. Milo's in there making moves. I thought he was just the head of the political sect. You know, the Yay 24 arm. But he's in Yay, he's the chief of staff. So he can fire all these people, right? In 4 weeks, I brought Yeezy's $48.8 million equivalent annual salary bill down to almost $30 million with no observable effect on company operations. Good job, Milo. I'm so proud of you. Ye's personal spending habits are the stuff of legend, but they are his prerogative and his private affair. They are his prerogative and his private affair. I spent the majority of my time preoccupied by the state of and moving quickly to reform his music and fashion empire. The fact that he left Milo's white, nerdy, dorky ass in charge of Yeezy, the music of Yeezy and fashion. Like, why does anybody give a shit about this when he entrusted Milo Yiannopoulos with the music and fashion? The fuck? I thought he was trusting Milo with the political shit. You know, by all means, give Milo the political shit. He'll bankrupt that in a minute. This is like audacious, bro. What else we got here? During February and March, I devised and deployed strict spending protocols, travel policies, limits on expenses, and other financial controls to rein in companies' appalling profligacy. I brought in a CFO, who had overseen multiple government agencies, each with budgets in the tens of billions, to audit a decade of Yeezy operations so we could advise Ye more wisely than his previous administrations. We began slashing and burning the enormous web of dormant and indebted entities, a legacy of 2 decades of neglect, which were now a danger in their own right. Okay. So, the business is a mess, and Milo came in with fucking heads of state that ruled entire nations to rein in the company's appalling profligacy. Who would have thought, dude? Milo was actually in here putting in work. I discovered dozens of fraudulent schemes, audacious greed, double billing, duplication of labor, entirely unnecessary employees collecting 7-figure salaries. Who? Entirely unnecessary employees collecting 7-figure salaries? Get me on that list, bro. That's crazy. Wah! Wowzers. He's in here just... It sounds like the business was a mess if what Milo is saying is true. And all manner of other senseless waste of money. I prioritize the identification of the most egregious thefts and frauds in case the perpetrators were still in Ye's orbit, terminating their contracts, including many described to me as untouchable and leeches. For example, I discovered that Paul Johnson, a former gallery owner and longtime advisor to Ye, had charged him $6 million in 21 for Damien Hirst's sculpture that could not have been worth more than $2 million. Okay, I like these examples. Paul Johnson, a former gallery owner and longtime advisor to Ye, had charged him. Just these people are just leeching off of Ye, and that's what I imagine. This is a brilliant insight into what it's like to be a sick billionaire. You know, a sick at the very least 100 millionaire. I don't think Ye is worth $1 billion at this point, but. You know, Ye is sick, and he doesn't have the right people around him, and he doesn't have the mind to put the right people around him. So what you get is leeches, and you get people sucking him dry, and I'm sure even the most of good faith famous people get these type of leeches. It's just a fascinating insight here, these examples. Charged him $6 million, could have been worth $2 million, and then proceeded to claim millions of dollars a year from Ye in the years after, allegedly to oversee his archive. In fact, under Johnson, the archive was being plundered. Irreplaceable artifacts are now gone forever thanks to losses and thefts under Johnson's tenure, including Ye's Grammys, personal effects from the births of his children, and even his mother's death certificate. So this is why that video leaked. This is kind of confirmed to me personally that the video leak of Ye's storage unit being like raped is like somehow connected to what Milo is doing here. Johnson had bragged drunkenly to colleagues that he and the company's former CEO Matt George made millions of dollars via illegal insider trades of Gap stock in 2021 before Yeezy's partnership with Gap was public knowledge. Johnson had asked for and received his entire 24 salary in advance a few weeks before I took over. I terminated his consultancy after he lied to me, claiming that it had been Ye's idea to pay him a year's salary in advance, and because Yeezy was presented with a bill for nearly $1 million in bogus storage fees. Johnson has not returned the money, nor to my knowledge made any attempt to apologize for taking advantage of Ye so outrageously and for so many years. I discovered that Ye's archive had been plundered to exhaustion. There is no way to know the true extent or enormity of the thefts from Ye's archive over the years. My staff was overwhelmed by the scale of the task. In light of Ye's unparalleled historical significance as a producer, recording artist, and clothing designer, I took the decision in May to request assistance from the Art Theft Program at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. With the advisor responsible, Paul Johnson dismissed. I informed Ye that for the first time in half a decade, Yeezy no longer had anyone on staff making more than $1 million a year. Since my departure in May, I understand the company has returned to its prior state, and many of those found guilty of theft, extortion, abuse have returned. This is fascinating. If this is true, I need like a third party to somehow confirm that some of this stuff is true before I just outright believe everything Milo says because of his shady past and just his gross behavior and just who he is. But it is kind of compelling. It is pretty compelling, and there is a lot of detail here, and who knows what little lies are true and what isn't true. But I think that he's painting some sort of a picture of the truth here. I think Milo is. Let's continue. It was in this context, having installed myself as a mandatory common sense check on new hires, which for the first time in Yeezy's history now included criminal background checks, that I first encountered Dr. Thomas Connolly, who was introduced to me as the dentist who assisted Ye in the design and installation of his widely reported and much admired titanium prosthodontics, which we all know of, those straight silver Vulcan Cybertruck type teeth he had. First fitted in January 24 at a cost, so the Daily Mail reported, of $850,000. Connolly was introduced to Ye by Billy Walsh, a music industry figure who was paid $1 million for his work on Vultures Volume 1, but could not identify a single track he worked on when challenged by Yeezy staff. So people just leeching off Yeezy, millions of dollars leeching off Yeezy. That I believe. Connolly is a former columnist for the Huffington Post, where he once enlightened readers on the dangers of oral sex and cold sores. Okay. Leave it to Milo to bring up oral sex and cold sores. These days, he is a celebrity dentist, which in his case means both that he has celebrity clients and that he is desperate to become famous in his own right. He enjoys little success at the latter, but his clients are sufficiently newsworthy and his creations sufficiently garish that Connolly has been profiled by the New York Times as the man who creates million-dollar smiles with diamonds. Connolly describes himself as the father of diamond dentistry. But if his business partner, self-described computer hacker Idris Quiba... God, dude, why are they doxing these people? I'm going to have to blur these shits out. Doxing, holy shit. Idris Quiba is an erratic, inconsistent witness who seems to enjoy, at least in his own mind, playing all sides. I can't stand people who play all sides. I will agree with you there, Milo. But he shared conversations and documents that satisfied me and had done extensive business with Connolly and could fairly be described as his business partner. His grievances against him appeared to be legitimate and his frustration genuine. Quiba says Connolly charges rappers and cartel bosses for natural stones but puts vastly cheaper lab-grown diamonds in their mouths instead. That could be, like proved, right? That could be investigated easily, right? Just check some of the diamonds in Lil Yachty's mouth. Shit. During various text and telephone convos, Quiba gave varying accounts of how many of Connolly's clients got fake stones, but they included Quiba himself, which Quiba offered as the reason for his break with Connolly and his willingness to supply info to me. On one occasion, Quiba told me he discovered the fraud early enough to have his stones replaced with real diamonds. On another, he said he had stones extracted and replaced. Either way, this is a matter for a full investigation by law enforcement. Does that require an investigation by law enforcement? I don't think it does. I mean, I guess if they're getting scammed, it could be, but let's focus here. Let's stay focused, Milo. Come on. Given that his client list is said to include international drug dealers as well as entertainers, Connolly will lose a lot more than his favorite nickname, when his patients find out. The rapper Lil Yachty gave Connolly $1,050,000 to permanently screw diamonds into his teeth. If they turn out to be fake, as Connolly's partner alleges they are, it may cost 6 figures just to find out, as the Diamond View luminescence test for lab stones cannot be done while the stones are in a person's mouth. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, that's how Connolly could think he would get away with it. Connolly has been bankrupt twice. The second bankruptcy, by Connolly's admission, entered into so that he could avoid tax. One of Connolly's bankruptcies appears to have been executed with the intention of avoiding a court judgment. Presenting himself as a well-connected, successful entrepreneur, Thomas Connolly supplied Ye with advisors he was either in business with or whom he had discovered on Google mere days beforehand and who demanded gigantic sums for their services. I don't know how he knows any of this. This is just all conjecture at this point. Milo's just kind of speaking. Milo speaks. You don't necessarily take it all at face value. You chew on it, you decide what could be real, and you spit everything else out. And then when you take everything that seems like it could be real, you then take it to other sources and fact check. He lobbied hard for Joe Walsh, a greengrocer who was on the verge of being hired by Ye on a guaranteed 3-year contract to give advice about opening retail stores. I intervened to ask for a copy of his proposal. Welsh shared a compensation package that amounted to over $10 million. As I noted in a letter declining Welsh's services, this eye-watering figure wasn't arrived at via upside profit share percentage or any other mechanism through which partners normally share in success, but comprised entirely of fees, charges, allowances, bonuses, premiums, and penalties. Welsh failed to provide references or any evidence he had charged similar fees in the past even when asked repeatedly to do so. So, I mean, Milo's out here doing good investigative work. Milo should stick to this. Stay out of politics. Whatever Milo's doing here, even if it turns out to be false, he's doing something. He's investigating. He's trying to find the facts. He's trying to find... I never thought I would see the day where I'm kind of sticking up for Milo and kind of backing Milo up here What is going on? Oh, yeah? Ew! Is that a burger? Yeah. Is that a Play-Doh burger? Mmm. Wow, she made me a Play-Doh burger. Mmm. Is that lettuce in a burger patty?
No, pepperoni.
Oh, it's pepperoni and lettuce? I love my little baby. I love my little baby. She's the best. Wow, this is long. Hold on, we're gonna continue, but holy shit, this goes on to, oh my god, this goes on to 45, and we are at 22, so we got a while. We're here though, right? We're here though, right? Connolly seemed more irritated that Welsh had tried to strike a deal without cutting him in than outraged at the obscene amount of money he planned to charge. Supplied with a copy of the $10 million demand, Connolly continued to advocate for Welsh, even requesting that I withhold details of the proposal from Ye until he's massaged it to look more palatable. I refused. In a text message chain with Ye, Connolly, and Welsh, I wrote, "The structure of your proposal tells me that you believe Ye's stores will fail. Are you prepared to exchange all these fees and bonuses for profit share incentives to reassure me that I am wrong and ensure everyone's interests are aligned?" Welsh declined. Connolly later admitted that he and Welsh had fist bumped each other on the way out of an early meeting with Ye, as Welsh loudly and, as it turned out, prematurely rejoiced that the pair of them were gonna get paid. I began to pay close attention to Connolly after this encounter. Not long after a text thread in which I again declined Welsh's services, 3 hours to be exact, Connolly described his former recommendation as dead to me. But his own efforts were no more impressive. With no experience in either music or fashion, and without examining a single document or interviewing a single member of staff, Connolly proposed widespread and disruptive changes to Yeezy's structure and operations. Although, Milo, let's be fair. You were proposing widespread and disruptive changes to Yeezy as well without experience in music or fashion. So, I'm not saying if that's right or wrong. I'm just saying you did the same exact thing. So, without even knowing what they were, and offered himself as the ideal candidate to lead the business and revivify the company's fortunes. Although he knew nothing about the business and had supplied no business plan or assessment of the company's financials because he didn't know them, Connolly nonetheless insisted he could not accept any less than $2.4 million a year in compensation. He circulated a resume illustrated with half-naked photographs of himself. What? So there is like a very weird conservative homophobic streak within Milo, and this leads into why I'm not inclined to just take Milo's word at face value. I don't know what's true here. Hopefully a third party can investigate here. There's very compelling claims made, which would maybe answer some questions about Ye's mental state, about what Ye's been up to, and it could possibly make some sense if I don't know, contested by a third party, if you know what I mean. Let's continue. He circulated a resume illustrated with half-naked photographs of himself, prompting widespread derision throughout the company. When a scope of work eventually arrived, the proposals were comically inadequate. The first read in full: 1. Secure long-term sustainable funding for the company without debt or investors. 2. Solidity. It doesn't even make sense. Solidity, the long-term vision for Yeezy with Ye one-on-one. concrete details of this vision recorded and categorized with dates and images. Solidify. So he meant to write solidify. This says solidity. Solidify the long-term vision for Yeezy with Ye 101. All right, number 3. Solidify the immediate goals for Yeezy with Ye 101. These goals are to be accomplished within 12 months. Build an actionable plan with Milo to achieve the goals set forth in item 3. Execute 4 with Milo. His second attempt was even less inspiring. Yeah, this is like, what is this? Like, you just typed it in the while you're sitting on the shitter in the notes app. This is not a business plan. His second attempt was even less inspiring and featured a baffling new addition to the plan, the development of a personal use N2O2 system cited as a primary goal of the corporate restructuring. It became clear to me that Ye's growing dependence on nitrous gas. Oh, the development of a personal use N2O2 system? Said its primary goal, the corporate restructuring. It became clear to me that Ye's growing dependence on nitrous gas and not Connolly's business expertise, that the dentist was counting on to seal the deal. How else to explain the fact that his pitch to us for a $2.4 million a year consultancy was that he'd hire an ad agency to do all the work? Okay. Build the drone, personal use in 202 system, build the Yeezy cars. So they really want everybody to be high on nitrous gas. Hold on, let me take it. I just need a second here. Could you imagine smoking nitrous gas? Unbelievable. Connolly is a tasteless, grating, gauche, and socially oblivious person, which I am able to state as fact under oath because he has gone to enormous lengths in his resume to communicate it. We have to keep in mind, apparently Milo is speaking under oath here. I don't know if that's like held up by the court system or not, but in this affidavit, I don't know. He said, "Take me serious. I'm speaking under oath. I could be tried for perjury." I'm going to take him at his word there. I don't know if it's true, but if it is, I'm more inclined to kind of take what he has to say here serious. This is still a developing story, though. Let's read more. Connolly is a tasteless, grating, gauche, and socially oblivious person, which I am able to state as fact under oath because he has gone to enormous lengths in his resume to communicate it. But surely it is nauseating and shameless, even by his lab diamond standards, that a person should propose to squander Yeezy's immense and unique cultural capital on slightly more thoroughly legalizing the gas with which he was simultaneously poisoning his patient. Could you write this like in a more clear way? Like the words here, these words are so come on, my soul, won't you get by on me? Lift up your soul, you will get high on me. Shout out your soul, won't you get by my brain? I've been working hard out here, people. I have been streaming for like 4 freaking hours, completely unfocused, trying to chase a baby around at the same time, trying to feed myself at the same time, and I'm sorry about that. But this will get chopped up into some good clips here, people. It will get chopped up into some good clips here. Okay? Let's continue on. This is very fascinating. I would have stopped a long time ago if it wasn't so intriguing of a read. Let's see. Person should propose to squander Yeezy's immense and unique culture. We read that. It demonstrates by itself his unfitness as an advisor, obviously, but it does something else too, which is gently imply that the debauched neurotoxic bacchanalia into which he was plunging Ye might not be quite as safe and legal as he keeps insisting. By April, employees at all levels of the company were worrying about Ye's dependence on the gas and speaking openly about it. Ye talked about it nonstop in meetings. That I believe. If Ye is focused about something, he's talking about it to everybody. Doesn't matter how high or low on the totem pole you are. If it's something Ye is obsessed with, he's going to talk to you about it. He seemed to be in and out of the inhaler mask on a near constant basis. So he's putting an inhaler mask on to take this drug. So everybody knows about it. Even if he wasn't talking about it, everybody would know about it because he keeps putting the damn inhaler mask on. Even posting a video message to the MMA fighter Ryan Garcia on the subject. His directives were becoming incomprehensibly His directives were becoming incomprehensible and contradictory. Yeezy staff who could adjust for Ye, the woman proficient in that subtle, sometimes dangerous art of distinguishing between a troubling episode and a regular Tuesday, all agreed that something was wrong. Ye insisted that I stopped referring to Connolly as the dentist and call him Tom. A division head with years of experience working closely with Ye confided to me that it was like speaking to an entirely different person. It was around that time that one of the junior staff confessed he had seen Connolly hauling 4 large surgical tanks of nitrous oxide into Bianca Sensori's apartment, and that something had told him to take a couple of photographs. Okay, so if there's photographs, we need... I have never seen Ye with me as a layman, as a fan, as an internet viewer. I've never seen Ye with a nitrous oxide mask on. So if it's that prevalent, wouldn't there be photos of it? Well, apparently there is some photographic evidence of surgical tanks being brought into their apartment. As many as 5 Yeezy employees are said to have been sufficiently worried as to have taken photographs of the home nitrous installation. When challenged, Connolly admitted that he had taken the canisters to Ye's home, but insisted absurdly that they were empty and had always been empty. Were the canisters empty? Or were they not empty? We need to know. Whoa, I just squirted on my desk. I received concerned messages from Chief Technology Officer Jonathan Solorzano and others, all of which are included in the scheduled exhibits attached to this affidavit, including people well outside the usual sphere of Ye-related concern and gossip, including media personality Gavin McInnes, who had interviewed Ye on camera the previous year. Yeah, Gavin McInnes, the founder of the Proud Boys. A long-standing vendor told me in apparent amazement how casually Connolly talked about putting Ye under, understanding him to mean full anesthesia for no apparent medical purpose, as though it were a normal part of everyday life. A bill was received and paid for over $61,000 by Yeezy solely for anesthesia and nitrous gas. Quibbit told me Connolly continues to collect fees of this size from Ye, as well as flights and hotels to destinations such as Paris and Florence. Is Ye funding this man's dental career across the world for rappers and athletes? Like, is Ye like what is going on here? Is he? This guy is obviously some sort of orthodontist or dentist who does mouth jewelry now for rappers and athletes and famous people. Most famously for Kanye, apparently, and also he is on Kanye's payroll for other things. Okay. Who else is this man supplying nitrous gas with? In the industry. And in any industry. How many people is this man supplying nitrous gas with? I need to know. We need to know. Milo, for once, is on the right side of history. In this one particular instance. Miraculously. I came into this not knowing anything about the story, just the headline. I told everybody that brought this up to me before I talked about it or even looked into it at this point to take it with a grain of salt because Milo is a freak. But this is more intriguing than I thought it was going to be. Number 32. While mostly safe when it is administered by professionals in a controlled setting, nitrous oxide can be deadly if not given in the correct admixture. Unless supplemented by oxygen, N2O2 can cause asphyxiation and even heart attacks. Hypoxia from high doses can produce cardiac arrhythmias, anoxic brain damage, cerebral edema, and long-lasting neural deficits. Chronic exposure to nitrous oxide can cause megaloblastic erythropoiesis, neuron death, and damage to the spinal cord. None of that sounds good. Internet personality Orion shared in June of this year that she lost the use of her legs and gained 100 pounds following prolonged abuse of nitrous oxide. You know, I want Ye to be alive. Obviously. No matter my difference of opinions of his, no matter what he says, no matter how racist he is, no matter how hateful, cruel, mean he is, he can also be very nice and funny, too. Let's not forget that. But no matter how anti-Semitic and racist he is, I don't want the man to die. I don't want the man to be murdered. I want his ass kicking so I can keep making fun of him. The symptoms of Ye's widely reported bipolar diagnosis and the side effects of prolonged nitrous gas abuse are strikingly similar. Okay. Long-term abuse of nitrous produces erratic behavior, mood swings, paranoia, and violence. It is the worst imaginable substance for a person with bipolar disorder, cyclothymia, or some other Group A, Group B cluster comorbidity to abuse. I was told over the telephone by a Yeezy employee who wishes to remain anonymous that they directly witnessed Ye self-administering the nitrous gas provided by Connolly. The employee was not able to say if a regulator was being used or what proportion of oxygen, if any, was being added. Together with the volume of the gas delivered to a patient's home, this is a clear violation of California law, which forbids clearly excessive prescribing or administering of drugs or treatment, as well as the failure to use a fail-safe machine with an inappropriate exhaust system in the administration of nitrous oxide. Number 35. Most disturbingly of all, I learned that Connolly had moved into the apartment building Ye resided at during this period, at Ye's expense. Moving the damn drug dealer into your home is wild, bro. You know, we've seen it all before. The famous celebrity, drug problem, issues, downward spiral, you know, blah blah blah. But have we seen it on this scale of Ye? Have we seen it on the scale of Ye? I'm not saying we haven't. I'm posing that question. As far as rappers, no, I don't think so. We have not seen it on the scale of Ye in the hip hop community, in the sphere of hip hop. So that is certain. The anti-Semitism, the bipolar, the rants, the egomania, all of that is pretty unique to Kanye. The drug problem is not so much. Kanye, I think what makes it unique to Kanye is the artistry. He does it all with this artistic flair, which is devastating because people are going to be smiling and laughing and clapping at his demise. People will be clapping at his demise because they think it's an art installation. And the man needs to stop being supported artistically, if you ask me. That's the only thing that we as people can do for this man that I care about. You know, the only reason people care, like, why do you give a fuck? You don't know this guy. I care. I care about the guy. How could I not? How could anybody not? You know, no matter what he said to rile anybody up. He's also made more incredible art that is stuck to most people for the rest of their lives. So we owe it to care about his well-being. You don't have to care about his opinions or his life or anything, you know, like what he does, his day-to-day life. But you should care about getting him help and rehabilitated. Especially, he can pay for it, so, you know, hopefully he does. I was asked by Ye to negotiate a second apartment at the same complex, which he said would be used as a studio. Before I had completed these negotiations, a pending charge on Ye's American Express card showed that 6 months' rent had been paid in advance to the building management company. When I challenged Connolly to explain this, he claimed to be moving in at his own expense. The American Express charge was later refunded. On May 2nd, I don't know what year, the day after my resignation, on May 2nd of 2024, the day after my resignation, I sent a text message imploring those around Ye to act, informing them of both the seriousness of the situation and Connolly's new living arrangements. Recipients of the message included Matt George, Ty Dolla $ign, Billy Walsh, Justin LeBoy, Juliana Yes Jules Goddard, Os Taylor, Charles 88 Keys, Japa, John Monopoly, and Ricky DP Broscombe, as well as Ye's lawyer, accountant, and other Yeezy staff. To my knowledge, no one did anything, though several have told me privately that they support my complaint and this affidavit. Connolly has a habit of launching into preemptive defenses of nitrous oxide before his interlocutor has ever... Connolly has a habit of launching into preemptive defenses of nitrous oxide before his interlocutor has even said good morning, which tells its own story. I don't know who his interlocutor is. His omnipresence and that of the large surgical tank of gas that inevitably followed him around solidly as he clamped himself to Ye, sometimes for days on end, violated both spirit and letter of state regulation. This is a disgusting picture that is being painted here. Ye being followed by a man with a nitrous oxide tank to put over Ye's mouth whenever he wants. Like, where are these photos? This is a lot of accusations. I need photographic proof. If this was happening, if this is happening for so long, so constant, why hasn't anybody seen this? For somebody photographed as much as Ye is. Surely they do great work to cover it up. Alright, we're going to wrap this up here. We're going to blast through it. Given Connolly's familiarity with rap and hip-hop music stars, many of whom have been clients in the past, there can be no doubt he was aware of Ye's psychological vulnerabilities. I believe he sought to exploit them and to have acted with sinister purpose against a celebrity whose mental health struggles have not only been the subject of blanket media coverage for a decade or more, but which were the subject of his 2018 album, Ye, upon whose cover appears the phrase, "I hate being bipolar, it's awesome." So Connolly knew that he's bipolar, obviously, everybody knows. Connolly was likely aware of a 2015 Paper magazine cover story in which Ye spoke effusively about a particularly enjoyable trip to the dentist. Ye spoke effusively about a particularly enjoyable trip to the dentist. Oh, shit. Okay. I kind of vaguely remember that. Ye talking about how they want to medicate him and how, yeah, you know, went to the dentist. I feel like that's like all wrapped up in the same, you know, interview. Yeah, speaking about how like the meds make him fat. I don't know. He went to the dentist, had nitrous oxide. He talked about that, right? Payment records from Yeezy LLC show hundreds of thousands of dollars in payments to Connolly, such as $250,000 on January 7, 24, marked dental work, followed by another $61,040 2 weeks later on January 29, 24, also marked dental work. These are merely two of many payments. In June 2024, 2 months ago, Connolly began paying Quiba to take fan pages offline that had been critical of him. Okay. Fuck, I have something in my eye. Upon information and belief, Connolly paid a five-figure sum to have one of Ye's most popular fan pages suspended on Instagram. Five-figure? How do you pay 5 figures to have a page suspended? You can't pay Instagram. Like, what the fuck? Damaging Yeezy LLC's commercial interests. Because the fan page had posted concern about the volume of Ye's nitrous intake. So people have known about this, okay? Upon info and belief, Connolly attempted and failed to persuade Quiba to hack the mobile telephone and destroyed the social media accounts of the author of this affidavit, and, according to Quiba, inquired about doing physical harm to Yiannopoulos in retaliation for the latter's refusal to engage him as a consultant for $200,000 per month. Okay.
Are you excited?
A little bit, yeah, baby. The attempted sale of over $1 million worth of stolen Yeezy Gap merchandise on March 24 was conducted from a warehouse owned by Dominic Chambrone, a friend and patient of Connolly's. Chambrone later claimed to have been fully exonerated by the LAPD. The police department does not determine innocence or guilt. An investigation into this matter is currently with the FBI, owing to the involvement of foreign nationals and international funds transfers. Upon information and belief, Eric Coy, a personal assistant currently employed by Yeezy, told several online fan groups in June 2024 that a scan of Ye's head prompted by my warnings had revealed evidence of permanent brain damage by rampant, prolonged abuse of nitrous oxide. So Ye has brain damage? Okay. So how long, we need to know, how long has Ye been using nitrous oxide? Is that long enough to cause permanent brain damage enough to maybe cause some of these outbursts? I don't know if the timelines match up exactly, but Ye's been pretty quiet the last 2 years. So it's not like, oh, he's been taking nitrous oxide the last 2 years and, you know, he's been going crazy. Like, no, it's been, like, quiet on the Ye front for the last 2 years. It's been since October 2022, November, December 2022 was, like, the last time we really heard from him. As far as, like, public interviews and such. Anything, like, personal and opinionated from Ye, besides his music. So if it's been since 2015, since the last 9 years, that I imagine could cause significant brain damage and just like deteriorate. Let's continue here. Koya has a reputation for untrustworthiness, and I have not seen evidence of the scans he says were performed. But if the claim is true, Connolly is responsible for more than just financial malfeasance. Whether by recklessness, the most Whether by recklessness, the most charitable interpretation, or, as I strongly believe, as part of a malicious, premeditated assault for financial gain, Connolly may have done irreplaceable harm to the mind of the world's most talented living musician and arguably its most commercial, successful living fashion designer. What world is this where Milo Yiannopoulos is Kanye's biggest artistic defense at this point? And not just that, but was the chief of staff at Yeezy, bro. It makes it so hard. Kanye makes it so hard and impossible to support his art. Which sucks, dude. Like, if you can't support the artist, what's the point of supporting the art, you know? There can be no medical justification for the presence of 4 surgical-sized canisters of nitrous gas at any patient's home. Nor can there be any explanation for Connolly moving into the same building as Ye that is not sinister in the extreme. The wrongdoing of men like Connolly is a subject for federal law enforcement, not celebrity managers or dental boards. But I urge you to suspend his license immediately, investigate him in all possible haste and with all possible scrutiny, and when, as I know they will, your inquiries further substantiate what I have attested to here, adding more charges along the way, I implore you to revoke his license permanently. Connolly's predatory targeting of a demographic he regards as especially credulous African American celebrities makes the urgency all the greater. Under penalty and perjury, under federal law and the law of the state of California, I hereby declare and affirm that the above mentioned statements are, to the best of my knowledge, true and correct. So, lots of doxing here, so there are photos attached to this that we don't really have access to. This is incredibly, incredibly compelling. And the fact that he is supposedly under perjury, under the threat of perjury here. I mean, I never thought I would support Milo Yiannopoulos in anything. But here we are in 2024, the year of our Lord, the year where nothing makes sense, the year where anything can happen. That is what this is. The year where anything can happen. I have to part ways now. I didn't get to nearly even close to anything I wanted to, but we did get to the thumbnail stories, and I will just push everything back a week. Sorry for the ADHD type of stream. I hope y'all understand. I hope y'all got something from this. I'm going to be chopping it up into some bite-sized pieces for y'all, and I hope y'all have a good night. This has been Scratched Up Live number 9. Your first stop on YouTube for hip-hop discussion and production. I'm Derek Obscure, and I'm out. Good night.